I'm sending these voice messages to myself because I couldn't wait till later on to make the video. I'm doing it on Facebook, you know, they only last a minute. But I made a video yesterday about the War of the Roses, and I've thought a little bit now. It is so strange. You've got the white rose of the Yorks and the red rose of the Lancasters. They fight for 30 years. In history, they don't explain that they're all Plantagenets, because obviously after, then Henry VIII gets in, and then they become the Tudors, so it's a different dynasty, and that's exactly what happens. At the end of the War of the Roses, they put the two flowers together, and it becomes red and white, and then it becomes a new dynasty of Henry VIII. Why on earth do they fight for all that time about who's going to rule, the Lancasters or the Plantagenet, the Yorks, the Plantagenets? But don't tell anybody in history that they're all the same family fighting to be king of the country. Maybe what it was is that's the period of the Middle Ages then, when we didn't have a king, something like that. And then there's all this to get Henry VIII in, who is a Holy Roman Emperor. And then he decides to quit that and make another dynasty, because obviously we go from Catholic to Protestant, and he has all those wives, 8 of them, supposedly. It's just all crazy that we have a white flower and a red flower. They're fighting for 30, 40 years with a French queen trying to get her son back on the throne in England, and she's chasing all over England to help everybody, and the next thing is, the war stops, they amalgamate the flower, and then comes Henry VIII. It was so simple. So I don't understand why they were arguing for all those years. Anyway, I just thought that was very interesting. They never ever really put him down in our history as a Roman emperor, and you do have to look a little bit for it. We're going to show this video. I think I got a little bit confused in it, but what it is that Henry VII here is also Henry VII somewhere else as well, in Europe. And he's also Henry VII here. He was Holy Roman Emperor, so if he is involved in all that, he had to be involved with all that. But anyway, this is the video. Let's play that video in a moment, just when I finish talking. Henry VIII had to be one as well. Oh, it's all bizarre. You can never work anything out with the War of the Roses, but I hope this has maybe brought a few more things into question, or shown you some things that are a little bit different, or things that you hadn't thought about. But anyway, we're going to play the video that I put on Sun and Moon. I wanted to go and find out a bit more about why Henry VIII, everything changed with Henry VIII, and we went from Catholic to Protestant. And I started to look up, and it says there about Rome, and I was like, yes, we did this the other day, the Holy Roman Empire. And it actually was Henry VII. He was an emperor. He was a Holy Roman Emperor. He comes from Germany, so there's the Holy Roman Empire. So it was here through a king, but that's not how they've explained it to us on Henry VII. There's Henry VII, tells you something so different, says he's part of the Lancaster family up there, I think. Yeah, he was married to Elizabeth of York, and it was the two warring families, the Lancasters and so on. And then I start finding even more stuff. Like, when was our kings ever related to the Holy Roman Empire? But actually, when you start delving, sorry, they're after Henry VII. That's Henry VIII and Edward VI. But when we go back to this one here, it says the Battle of Bosworth, which is the War of the Roses, and the House of Lancaster of York. And there you go. But Henry VII was crowned emperor.
Elizabeth's mother was Jacquetta of Luxembourg, the eldest daughter of Peter I of Luxembourg and his wife Margaret of Beau, Count and Countess of St. Paul, Conversano and Brienne. Jacquetta had been married before she wed Elizabeth's father. In fact, she had married the Duke of Bedford in 1433, aged 17, when Sir Richard was part of the Bedford.
So there you go. What is all this bit about Henry VIII divorcing everybody all the time? So the whole of our religion changed so he could divorce his wife. He didn't need to do that. Everybody, he's not the first person. There are other people. I did a video yesterday. That guy, about 100 years earlier, got divorced 3 times. So what is all this stuff about divorce and changing the religion with Henry VIII? Because that's not true. There you go. 1312. Henry VII, the House of Luxembourg, was crowned as the Holy Roman Empire since Frederick II. After him, all kings and emperors relied on their lands of their family. But there you go, he was crowned, Henry VII was crowned Holy Roman Emperor, and it's in here as well. Where are we? We've got to go back a little bit. That's a bit afterwards to show you the connection with, there you go, look, the end of the Austrian succession, the end of the war of the, so that's obviously part of it. Where is it? Henry VII was crowned Holy Roman Emperor. Another person there. And then it moves on. Sorry, the page before should have been first and then that one, but I didn't. Anyway, I think you get it. But I just wanted to show that Henry VII was, again, mentioned here as the Holy Roman Emperor. I said that they didn't rule England, but they did through the kings. And then I was trying to look up a bit about what the difference was between being a Protestant and being a Catholic. So there's a little bit of information about that, which you can stop and read. Seems a bit crazy. And then there's 7 of these. In fact, I think it's going to go backwards, but these are the differences in the Protestant to the Catholic. More stuff there on Protestants and Catholics. So Protestant is those that protest. Don't forget we had paganism as well. So it kind of all started with him. Then comes Henry VII. So it's all a bit bizarre, but I've just shown you that Henry VII was crowned Emperor of the world. We all want to know the truth, don't we, Mark? You know, melted red bricks everywhere, absolutely everywhere, abandoned, broken. But I did, in my video Star Forts on Sun and Moon, not my video, but the person said they used brick because when they use stone, stone shatters much more easily than the red brick. So this is why they used red brick in Star Forts. And adding to this video, this is Hampton Court. It was built for Henry VIII and it's red brick. You never know, maybe that's on a Star Fort as well, but built for Henry VIII. Just look at it, it's a town. Like 1 house, 2 houses. These are all like houses. People living there, as well as the palace. Look at it all. So, in fact, this is a different colour. to this. I just noticed that. Wow. Did you see that? Right, well, nothing is what you think it is it? But red brick. It has the date of 1514. So my point is, if they were building the star forts then would be, according to his story, 500 odd years old. Hampton Court. So the star forts, according to their history, are getting a bit older, because then they would have had to have been built probably in the 13 or 1400s, and it's just impossible for people at that time to be able to do that unless everything was totally different.